Shanti. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine Avatar Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Today's topic I have chosen from the Gospel, the importance of spiritual practice in life. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is the practical guidebook for all the spiritual aspirants. The success in spiritual life depends on your strong aspiration for spiritual life. That strong aspiration should inspire you to undertake spiritual practices. It is through spiritual practices only you will be able to achieve your goal. Sri Ramakrishna said in the Gospel, one must be very earnest about God. Then Sri Ramakrishna sang a song. Can everyone have the vision of Radha? Can everyone taste her love? This, the rarest treasure of all, no earthly wealth can buy. Without devotion and sadhana, none can ever obtain it. This is the song. Sri Ramakrishna sang this. And then he said, one must practice intense spiritual discipline. Can one obtain the vision of God all of a sudden without any preparation? A man asked me, Sri Ramakrishna said, Master, why don't I see God? Sri Ramakrishna said, you want to catch a big fish, first make arrangements for it. Throw spiced bait into the water, get a line and a rod. At the smell of the bait, the fish will come from the deep water. By the movement of the water, you will know that a big fish has come. Again Sri Ramakrishna said, you want to eat butter, but what will you achieve by simply repeating that there is butter in milk? You have to work hard for it. Only thus can you separate butter from milk. Can one see God by merely repeating God exists? One needs sadhana. The Divine Mother herself practiced austere sadhana to set an example for mankind. Lord Krishna, who is none other than the ultimate Brahman, also practiced austere sadhana. Why? To set an example to others. Again Sri Ramakrishna said, one needs sadhana. Mere study of the scriptures will not do. I noticed, Sri Ramakrishna said, that though Vidyasagar had no doubt read a great deal, he had not realized what was inside him. He was satisfied with helping boys get their education. but had not tasted the bliss of God. What will mere study accomplish? How little one assimilates. The almanac may forecast 20 measures of rain, but you don't get a drop by squeezing its pages. By squeezing its pages, you won't get even a single drop. So, Sri Ramakrishna is suggesting seriously through these sayings that one must undertake spiritual disciplines, one must practice sadhana in order to reach the ultimate reality. Explaining the Vedantic view of soul, Swami Vivekananda said in his Complete Works, volume number 2, every human being is a perfect being. That everyone should first of all know that fact. It's very important. Unless there is perfection in you, you can't achieve perfection. Perfection is there because of impurities that is covered up. So sadhana means to get rid of those impurities. But paradoxically, every human being feels that he is imperfect, and so he is dissatisfied. Yet he has an irresistible desire for attaining perfection, and until this desire for attaining perfection is duly satisfied, he can never be at peace. Lord Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ashantasya kutas sukham. There cannot be happiness without peace. In essence, man is perfect. Therefore, the feeling of imperfection is something alien to man. It is something alien in man. So long as man identifies himself with alien matter, he can never get rid of this feeling of imperfection, however hard he may try, and consequently he will be dissatisfied and miserable. Human life on earth is an opportunity given to us to realize our inherent perfection and be free. So, this earth is sadhana kshetra. It is not for using the life in some momentary pleasures and just one day get off from this body. No. You have come on into this earth with a specific purpose of doing practice, spiritual practice. So, the earth is sadhana kshetra. Attaining freedom or mukti is the one supreme goal of human life. The first step to advance towards this goal supreme is to know that perfection is already in us. Somehow we have forgotten our real nature and have identified ourselves with imperfections. So long as we are identifying with imperfections, we are always in some kind of suffering and peacelessness. What is the cause, therefore? The spiritual teachers tell us that ignorance is the cause of all imperfections and miseries. The only way to get out from the meshes of imperfection and misery is to attain knowledge, or rather to remove ignorance. Because knowledge is the very nature of our real being, we are not to attain it in the sense of getting from outside something which was not in our possession. The light is there within us, always shining. Some non-transparent objects have covered it. We have only to remove them. Then the light shall shine in its own brilliance. What is spiritual practice? The direct experience of our divine nature solves the problems of life here and hereafter. This experience presupposes certain kinds of disciplines as its essential condition. These disciplines are called sadhana. It should be noted that these are only conditions for divine experience and not the experience itself. Nor can it be said that these disciplines directly lead to immediate divine experience. They prepare us for divine experience. But the experience itself comes only through divine grace. If divine experience, it comes only through divine grace and nothing else, Can we then not dispense with these disciplines? As a rule, no. Because getting the divine experience without any preparatory qualifications is an exception. An exception is exception. It cannot be generalized. These disciplines preceding divine experience have been accepted by spiritual masters of all times and climes. The next point is, what is the function of sadhana? The Bible says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." This seeing God is realizing our inherent perfection and becoming free. The pure in heart shall see God. The essential condition of seeing God is therefore purity in heart. There cannot be any real spiritual experience unless the heart becomes perfectly pure. What is impurity of heart? Everything must be clearly understood. Then only you will have zealousness in spiritual practices. You must know things. You must know things properly. What is impurity of heart? Mind is said to be of two kinds, pure and impure. The mind which craves for worldly pleasures is impure, and the mind bereft of worldly desires is pure. The desire for worldly pleasures here and hereafter makes the heart impure. The spiritual teachers have put all the worldly desires under three heads. They have classified. These desires have been classified very clearly, very thoroughly. One is putreshana, desire for progeny, desire for son or daughter, whatever it is, desire for progeny. Second one, vitteshana, the desire for wealth. Man is not satisfied. The more he gets wealth, the more he wants. Much more he wants. Much more, much more, much more. No end. End comes only when he leaves the body, when he dies. Till then he wants to earn and earn and earn. So, that is vitteshana, desire for wealth. Third one is lokeshana, the desire for name and fame, power and position, or for going to heaven. All our carnal desires fall under putreshana. The desire for wealth and possessions fall under vitteshana. And the desire for name and fame, power and position, and the desire to go to heaven after death fall under lokeshana. This triad of desires is the cause of the impurity of heart. Samskara, the motive force. Whatever we are now, Swamiji said in Complete Works, is a result of whatever we have been or have thought in the past, and whatever we shall be in the future will be the result of what we do or think now. Our bent of mind, propensities, ambitions are the result of our past thought and action. We had repeated these actions and thoughts for numberless times in the past. They have produced on our mind deep impressions called samskaras, propensities. These samskaras are the real force behind our present thought and action. If worldly thoughts and desire for sense pleasures are strong in us, it means that we had repeated them in a large number of times in the past. They have produced bad samskaras on our mind and thus have polluted our heart. So, the twofold cleaning process is given to us. The task of sadhana is to clean this polluted heart. It has two aspects, negative and positive. First of all, further pollution of the heart must be checked. Therefore, the negative aspect of sadhana prescribes that all worldly thoughts and selfish actions must be controlled at the very outset. That is negative aspect of sadhana. The positive aspect of sadhana prescribes certain disciplines which purify the heart. Both are important. One should apply both with regards to sadhana. The basic features of sadhana. Now we shall consider sadhana is a means to attain an end and not an end in itself. All the teachers of the different systems of philosophy and religion accept the need of sadhana for spiritual realization. They all agree on some basic features of sadhana. If these basic disciplines are followed properly and meticulously, they make us fit subjects to receive the divine grace. Explaining the basic features of sadhana, in one of his class lectures, Swami Vivekananda observed, these preparations will make us pure and light. Bondages will fall off by themselves, and we shall be buoyed up beyond this plane of sense perception to which we are tied down, and then we shall see and hear and feel things which men in the three ordinary states, namely waking, dream and sleep, neither feel nor see nor hear. Thus we see that, although on principle the sadhanas are not the direct cause of spiritual realization, their importance and role in spiritual realization cannot be underestimated. Now comes the training the body. Only in the human birth can the self be realized, and the individual soul can attain liberation. The human personality is a body-mind complex. The aspirant who wants to attain freedom has to train his body-mind and make it a fit instrument for attaining freedom. The saying, a sound mind in a sound body, applies to the field of sadhana also. The sole purpose of sadhana is the purification of the heart. This purpose cannot be achieved unless the body cooperates. The body is like a young, unbroken horse which always tries to kick and throw off the rider who wants to break the horse. The intelligent rider who wants to use the horse for better purposes keeps his patience and trains the horse slowly but surely. Similarly, when we are young, our body and senses are strong, very strong. They are not under our control. The senses drag us out and yoke us to their objects. The first step of sadhana is to check and control this turbulent body and senses. So, the first thing that comes, the control of the body and the senses. It's called in Sanskrit Dhamma. Dhamma. It is bridling the unbridled external organs and directing them towards the goal of spiritual realization. It is not suppression, but subjugation. While practicing Dhamma, proper care must be taken not to go to extremes and become harsh with our body. The body must be kept fit and healthy. Next comes Shama, the more difficult and long-drawn process of controlling and training the mind. Mind control is a fully developed science. The yogis and spiritual teachers have devoted lives after lives to perfect this science. Different techniques have been found to suit various kinds of persons. Every individual has got some peculiarity in his or her mental and physical makeup. Before undertaking the task of sadhana, these peculiarities must be taken into consideration. It's only after the proper assessment of the individual person that a suitable method of sadhana can be prescribed. Only a highly evolved and experienced soul, the Guru, can prescribe the method of sadhana suitable to a particular individual. But there are some general rules of sadhana which can be followed by all who want to lead a higher life. The process of controlling the mind is called Shama. Because of the old impressions of our lives, the mind runs towards worldly things. It broods over the worldly enjoyments it had experienced in the past and makes castles in the air for future enjoyments. Checking the mind in both these directions and employing it towards a higher goal is called Shama. There are some general rules. All the spiritual teachers are unanimous on the point that moral perfection is the basis of all kinds of sadhana for attaining perfection. The general moral principle can be classified under 5 heads: Satya, Ahimsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Aparigraha. Satya, or truthfulness, is not only speaking the truth as it is generally understood. The aspirant has to practice truthfulness in thought, in word, and in deed. Our thought, word, and deed must correspond to one another. Then Ahimsa. Ahimsa is not injuring any living being. In a positive sense, it is respect for all kinds of life. In the strictest sense, injuring anybody's feelings maliciously by words or deeds is Himsa. To practice Ahimsa properly, the aspirant should have respect not only for life but also for the feelings of others. Selfless love towards all beings is implied in Ahimsa. Next one is Brahmacharya, which is generally translated as continence. It is not limited to control of the sex urge only. It further includes control of all other senses and impulses of mind and their direction towards the supreme goal of attainment of perfection. Next is Asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Taking anything which does not belong to us without the permission of its owner is stealing. Abstaining from this act is Asteya. But morally speaking, taking anything more than what we need, even with the consent of the owner of the thing, is stealing. Thus, Asteya means refraining from accepting any gift we do not actually need. See how, in a subtle way, they explain the significance of non-stealing, Asteya. Then Aparigraha means non-possession. Non-possession does not mean poverty. A beggar is not necessarily a man practicing Aparigraha, because though he does not possess much, he has not given up this sense of possession. Aparigraha means giving up the desire for possession and having as little of physical and mental needs as possible. All these moral values are, of course, not cut and dried items which can be practiced separately. They are all interconnected and linked together. The practice of one virtue facilitates the practice of the others. Similarly, the negligence in the practice of any of them hampers the practice of the other virtues. It can be seen that Shama and Dhamma, under which all these virtues come, are the upwards and reverse of the same coin. Therefore, they must be practiced together and simultaneously for purifying the heart. Indeed, this practice of Shama and Dhamma is a way of life. It is not possible to lead a comfortable worldly life and simultaneously practice Shama and Dhamma, etc., with a view to attain perfection. Yoga and Bhoga cannot go together. Acharya Shankara says in Vivekananda, Sharira poshanarthi san ya atmanan didrikshati graham daru dhiya dhritva nadim tattum sagachati. Beautiful text, Vivekananda, composed by Adi Shankaracharya himself. There he says, whosoever seeks to realize the Atman while indulging in the comforts of the body, he is like a man who proceeds to cross a river catching hold of a crocodile, mistaking it to be a log of wood. Sadhana can begin only when a man firmly decides to devote his life for a great cause. That's why I told in the beginning, your spiritual life begins only when you have a strong aspiration for spiritual truth. Anything great cannot be achieved by an easy-going way of life. Great achievement requires great sacrifice. The aspirant who wants to attain perfection has to remold his life in the molds of sadhana prescribed by the spiritual teachers. Every soul, Swami Vivekananda says, is destined to be perfect, and every being in the end will attain that state. He declared this in his address on Bhakti Yoga. Attaining perfection is not a matter of choice. We shall have to attain it, if not in this life, maybe after thousands of lives. It is not a matter of choice. Nature will force us to go through innumerable experiences of pain and pleasure numberless times, until and at last we come to our senses and realize that being a puppet in the hands of pain and pleasure is not our lot. Our lot is to go above and beyond pain and pleasure and be free. When this good sense will dawn on us, then we shall mend our way of life. That will ultimately lead us to attainment of perfection. But why wait for such a long time and get the repeated kicks of nature before mending our ways? Why not start here and now voluntarily what we shall be forced to do after thousands of lives under great pressure? Therefore, if we start our sadhanas voluntarily now itself, it would make a world of difference. It will save us from repeating innumerable experiences of pain and pleasure numberless times. And if we are sincere enough, we may get the guidance from the Divine Spirit itself and cross the ocean of this world in this very life. So, now you must realize how important it is. Every moment of your life must be used in spiritual practices. That's the only way to experience real peace and real happiness. One gets atyantika mukti, one can establish oneself in ecstatic bliss only when he undertakes spiritual practices and purifies his heart. Then he will be blessed with the experience of divine peace and bliss. So the importance of spiritual practice in life is very much needed. Sri Ramakrishna has said in this guidebook, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Guidebook. Do you want any guidance? People keep on, where do we get guidance? Where do we get Guru? Come here, read Gospel. That's a good Guru. Gospel is a good Guru. Letter by letter, read it, assimilate the ideas and experience the truth. Page 797. A few days after my first experience of the God-intoxicated state at Dakshineshwar, a lady of a Brahmin family arrived there. She had many good traits. No sooner was a garland put round her neck and incense sticks burnt before her than she went into samadhi. A few moments later, she experienced great bliss. Tears streamed from her eyes. I saluted her and said, "Mother, shall I succeed?" "Yes," she replied. "I want to see Purna once more. But how will it be possible for me? It seems he is a part of the divine incarnation." How amazing! Not a mere particle, but a part. Very intelligent too. I understand that he is very clever in his studies. Therefore, I have hit it right. By dint of austerity, a man may obtain God as his son. By the roadside on the way to Kamarpukur, he is Banjit Roy's lake, Bhagavati, by this roadside on the way to Kamarpukur is Ranjit Ray's lake. Bhagavati, the Divine Mother, was born as his daughter. Even now people hold an annual festival there in the month of Chaitra in honor of this divine daughter. I feel very much like going there. Ranjit Roy was a landlord of that part of the country. Through the power of his tapasya, he obtained the Divine Mother as his daughter. He was very fond of her, and she too was much attached to him. She hardly left his presence. One day, Ranjit Roy was engaged in the duties of his estate. He was very busy. The girl, with her childlike nature, was constantly interrupting him, saying, "Father, what is this? What is that?" Ranjit Roy tried with sweet words to persuade her not to disturb him, and said, "My child, please leave me alone. I have much work to do." But the girl would not go away. At last, absent-mindedly, the father said, "Get out of here." On this pretext, she left home. A peddler of conch shell articles was going along the road. From him she took a pair of bracelets for her wrists. When he asked her for the price, she said that he could get the money from a certain box in her home. Then she disappeared. Nobody saw her again. In the meantime, the peddler came to the house and asked for the price of his bracelets. When she was not to be found at home, her relatives began to run about looking for her. Ranjit Roy sent people in all directions to search for her. The money owed to the peddler was found in the box as she had indicated. Ranjit Roy was weeping bitterly when people came running to him and said that they had noticed something in the lake. They all ran there and saw an arm with conch shell bracelets on the wrist being waved above the water. A moment afterwards, it disappeared. Even now, people worship her as the Divine Mother at the time of the annual festival. To M, Sri Ramakrishna said, "All this is true." M said, "Yes, sir, Master." Narendra now believes these things. Purna was born with an element of Vishnu. I worshipped him mentally with bell leaves, but the offering was not accepted. Then I worshipped him with tulsi leaves and sandal paste. That proved to be all right. God reveals himself in many ways, sometimes as man, sometimes in other divine forms made of spirit. One must believe in divine forms. "What do you say?" M said. "It is true, sir." Shall stop here. The basic thing is, you should not be fearful. You must be courageous and bold, even in worldly life. What to speak in spiritual life? It's much more required. Spiritual life is meant for courageous and bold, heroic persons, not for cowards or weaklings. If you say, "I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't eat this, I can't," if you keep on telling this, that means you are asserting you are weak. You are destroying your personality. So you have to assert yourself. Your true nature is perfection. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that pure self. Shiva also means pure. I am Shiva, the pure self. Keep on telling constantly. It's a mantra. So accordingly you must shape your life. Anyway, I just gave few points to him to think and act upon, and I suggest him to read Karma Yoga, and that's all that can be done. But a person has to do something. If you don't do, and if you simply say, what is the solution? Solution cannot come by itself. You have to practice it, you have to make yourself perfect. One is, in a healthy way, a natural way, is to learn from seeing things. Cause and effect. Everything happens because of cause and effect. So whatever I am passing through is the result of cause and effect. So I can reverse it. I can do better by doing good actions and so on. So I told him, you have to reformat your life. Whatever way you have led the life, it is all right. No use of brooding over the life which you have already been living. But you have to take positive steps to reformat your life. And I told the success in life is possible only when you face the brute. Then I gave the incident of Swami Vivekananda, how he faced the monkeys. He was returning from Shiva temple in Benares. The monkeys are very ferocious there, huge monkeys. And for some reason, either they are attracted or drawn by the ochre robe, they began to follow him. Swamiji thought, in order to avoid them, he began to run. The moment he started running, they began to run faster, as if they are chasing him. He was almost being chased by the monkeys. Not one or two, host of monkeys. Maybe 20, 30 monkeys. I have seen Benares monkeys, huge. And somebody, when Swamiji was running like that, some old man in the house top, he shouted, "Stop! Stop!" He got the hint. So you say, I have learnt a great lesson. Swami Vivekananda says, what is that? Face the brute. So we are all in that condition. We are all in that condition. We have to face the brute. You have to be courageous. You have to be daring. You have to be bold. But use all these qualities for success in spiritual life. That's the gist of my topic today. People who want, we want seminar, we want some. Why can't we have seminar here itself? 10 people are there. Discuss. Finally you have to, whatever discussion you may make, finally you have to act upon. If you don't act, you'll be same old self. That's the truth. So that is the meaning of being constantly in touch with holy association. Ashrama, where spiritual activities are done, be associated with them. That's the way of controlling the mind and purifying the heart to a certain extent. Suppose in 1 hour your whole mind is concentrating upon the spiritual ideas given by Sri Ramakrishna, that means how much progress you have made. That 1 hour was utilized in the best spirit, which really helps, which makes your mind more strong. Making the mind more strong, that's important. So, for whatever reason you are in such certain situation, circumstance, what's the way? You have to bear with. You have to bear. Whatever you are here now in this life is because of the past actions, but you have to bear with. At least from now onwards, do everything consciously, carefully, and try to be spiritual as much as you can. Be sincere and devoted. Everything will be all right. That's the truth. The more you are spiritual, the more you understand the divine grace. That's all. Concluded. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, Be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant, O sweet one. In Thy mercy consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from Thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou who stillest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.